What's good, fam? We're at Sweet Talks, Power Slap 18. We're at it again. We have a very special guest in the building. It's hard to misplace this man. He's got some size to him. We're excited he's here. Zakir, how are you, brother?
Hi, fine.
You good?
Yeah.
But it's you talking back to me.
That's fine. This is something
Medicals this morning,
Да.
and you feel good. Everything went well.
Сегодня медицина была с утра, все нормально, чувствую себя хорошо. Отлично. Только имела капли на ракоре, немного сейчас зрение не совсем стопроцентное. Everything's good except they put some drops in my eyes to dilate the eyes, and it's a little blurry still, but they said it's only going to take a couple hours.
Okay, so the bright lights aren't helping, are they?
То, что свет на тебя очень яркий свет сейчас не помогает, да? Пойдет. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Okay. It's good to see you, man. We have, in past cars, we have been able to see each other in person, but I'm so excited and happy that we can actually sit down and talk in person.
Последний пару раз не получилось тебя заставить живьем, но теперь наконец-то мы рядом, вместе можем поговорить, поэтому очень рад, что здесь. Same here, really happy to see you.
Good to see you, brother. We've talked a few times, and it's interesting from my perspective because I know you guys get the same questions over and over. And so, but I do need to ask you: is your technique dialed in, and is your power dialed in so they can be the same? They can work together.
Конечно, я всегда тренирую не только силу, но и технику, потому что без силы, да, как сказать, без силы в этом спорте, именно пауэрсепе, тут делать нечего.
Yeah, I always do both. I train both technique and power because how can I say this right? In power slap, without power behind technique, you might as well not compete.
100%. Where it's been fun to watch the sport grow because in the beginning, I think everybody thought if I'm the biggest guy, I got this. But you find that's not the case. They need both the skill and the power. So you're on the right track. Absolutely.
Но вот многие там качаются, да, делают мышечную массу, и они думают, что они здесь могут себя проявить. На самом деле это не так. Здесь, конечно, да, ударная техника в первую очередь, и остальное это просто сила и стремление и генетика.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of these guys are getting super bulk, they're just putting on as much muscle as possible. But now we're seeing that that's not what's going to win you matches, right? There's a really definite technique that's going to help you out. And then obviously, of course, your power and your genetics are also playing.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just ask about it. You can't work on genetics. And I would say that your genetics actually do help you. You do have a chin, so you can absorb. Do you think that people know they have a good chin because of their genetics before they get up there, or they have to actually get hit and then they find out?
Как можно узнать, что у тебя хорошая держава? Что сначала, что у тебя хорошая колдайн, если ты понял, да, или ты уже знаешь, да, что у тебя держава?
Надо, наверное, прочувствовать удар. А я прочувствовал это, когда меня ударил Денис Вильнянов, когда он весил 465 фунтов. И я выдержал 4 удара. Когда он еще в 2019 году был в супер форме. Очень такая форма бешеная.
I think, yeah, you have to at least take one shot. You have to take a couple shots to understand how do you hold a shot. And now I realized that when back in 2019, but back in 2019, I received a shot from Denis Vildanov back in the day when he weighed 465 pounds.
Oh.
And he was actually still in like super good shape. So he wasn't, now he's not as well shaped as before.
Sure.
Back then he was like all muscle.
So, you as we would say, you learned trial by fire.
То есть ты узнал это прямо непосредственно.
Да. Ну, это еще было, наверное, в школе, когда я всегда выходил против одного драться, но на меня набегала там толпа, человек 15 было, и я удары чувствовал, сюда прилетает, но я выдерживал удары, одного ловлю и держу его, и начинаю его душить, там, его чем бить, и все другие разбегаются.
So I also learned about myself that I can withstand some shouts was when I used to fight back behind the bleachers at school, and it was supposed to be like one on one, and I would go in one on one, and then all of a sudden like 5, 6, 7, at some point 15 people would jump in, and I would feel
15 actually.
15 человек, but
Ну, человек 10.
maybe 10. but I would feel a shot on the right, and feel a shot on the left, or feel a shot on the right. Like I would feel that people are like raining shots on me. And then I would just grab one of them and would start like, choking him out or whatever. And everybody saw what I would do to him and they would like back off.
I can visualize that in my head, and I can only imagine the fear that the other people felt when you grabbed that guy.
Страх у них был, когда они ты одного задушил там.
И, кстати, вот этот момент, что я рассказываю, как сказать, я вот подрался, получается, против толпы, у меня было все лицо опухшее, и на следующий день мне позвали на интервью.
That moment specifically, I fought against a crowd. And then my whole face was swollen from all the punches and stuff. And the next day, I get called in for an interview.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so you're really handsome. And
Да.
Да. А я еще приехал после чемпионата мира по пауэрлифтингу тогда. И меня позвали на интервью.
And I came back from a powerlifting championship. So they called me in because of my result, the powerlifting champion. And then I ended up, being beat up, so to speak, and I went in.
So you were, in a weird way, you were kind of destined to be in power slap.
То есть, по-любому, у тебя было предназначено судьбой стать powerslapper'ом.
Наверное.
Yeah, most likely.
It was like that, dude. You've had so much experience in such a short amount of time.
Не очень.
Obviously, the brass, as we call it, they respect you to keep giving you these matches. At what point do you get the call to fight for a championship?
Когда ты думаешь, тебе позвонят, чтобы сражаться за титул?
Ну, надо в этот раз выиграть. И я думаю, Фрэнк, Дэна и Джастин и примут решение, может быть, поставить меня за титульный бой. И я покажу настоящее вот какое-то шоу, которое хотят видеть не только американцы, но и Казахстан.
I think that I have to definitely win this next one.
Okay.
And then most likely the powers to be, Frank, Dana, Justin, will consider me and give me the opportunity. And then I'll be able to come out and show a real fight, a real exciting show that everybody's expecting, not just in America, but in Kazakhstan as well.
That'd be great. Can you imagine if you went back to your hometown?
В Казахстане, если сделать.
It'd be huge.
И это было бы невероятно. У нас
It would be incredible.
в Казахстане, да, у нас есть слово вместо power slap и слово шапалак. Это традиционный типа удар, дать шапалак, отцовский шапалак называется.
In Kazakhstan, we have a saying or a word for it. We don't call it power slap. We call it shapalak. Shapalak. And it's almost like a thing that like your dad does to you when like you need to get your head straight.
Oh,
Your dad does the thing, and all of a sudden you think, so it's one of those things where like, exactly. It's one of those things that it's almost respected. It's a thing that you understand. Everybody knows that word. Everybody knows what that entails. So it's more than just slap or power slap. It's like a shapalak. It's something that people understand.
It gains respect.
Yeah, это уважение идет, да? То есть ты понимаешь, он этим правильно
Да.
мозги вбивает.
Типа ты там плохо учишься, дать шапалаку.
If you get in bad grades in school or whatever, you get a shapalak, you already start going up. Like, go.
My kid needs some shapalak in his life, man.
Да.
We talked to Wes last night, and I joked with Wes the last couple of times. Every time I see him, he looks more like a bodybuilder. Getting leaner. He's kind of a quieter guy. He always says he's locked in, and he doesn't do a whole lot of interviews. So we're very excited to speak with him. But I get the energy from Wes that he wants this so bad. How do you match somebody's desire to overcome and get that win?
И победить его, человека, который так желает этой победы.
Ну, я со всеми заходил, у них тоже было некоторые желания. Но мне кажется, здесь кто выходит, у всех желание выиграть. Это нормально. Я к этому отношусь Ментально самое главное, внутри я готов выходить против любого.
You know, everybody that I come out against, they all desire to win, right? I think it's normal for somebody to come out to this match and want to win. But I think the most important thing is your inner focus, right? I'm mentally ready. I'm mentally ready to come out and win. So I think that's the most important is what you have inside.
Yeah. What this might be a simple question, but I never asked you, what motivates you, dude? This is a weird world we're in. It's exciting. What motivates you to keep going? Money, attention, maybe to accomplish I'm a champion in a certain league. What drives you to do it?
Но получается, у меня были разные периоды в жизни. Нравилось сперва. Вообще нравится, я говорю, вот мне нравится киберспорт, именно играть в компьютерные игры. Я был очень сильно фанат. Затем мне понравился пауэрлифтинг. Я начал заниматься пауэрлифтингом, я стал там рекорды ставить, выиграл чемпионат Азии и так далее. Но после этого я понял, что меня это внутри ничего не заряжает. И после этого начал я заниматься видеоконтентом, снимать свои ролики, трюки и так далее. С помощью своих трюков начали обо мне узнавать, в том числе и PowerSet. Я думаю, если у моих трюков и моего контента не было бы, я был бы неинтересен. Я просто сказали бы, ну, сильный. В Америке таких сильных каждый там десятый. Так что я вот смотрю на американцев, они все хорошо выглядят, многие занимаются спортом, креативный, кто-то классно танцует. Вчера вышел, дедушка там танцует, нереально просто такие финты делают, это невероятно. Я такой думаю, вот это да, вот здесь конкуренция в Америке очень большая, так что без моих видео я был бы неинтересен.
You know, I think that I have different periods in my life that I like a certain thing or something that I want to do, right? So at one point I was really into cyber sports, like the gaming.
Yeah.
And I was really big in that. This is all I wanted to do. And then at one point it stopped being interesting to me. So then I got into powerlifting and I wanted to achieve specific things in powerlifting. And then so the next thing I started to do is setting records, winning championships of Asia and stuff like that to come into the top of the powerlifting.
Yeah.
And at one point, I've lost interest in it. It was no longer motivating me. And so I changed into content creating and I started creating a certain type of content that nobody else had. Maybe did some
content.
yeah, very content stuff that's specific to me, like tricks, power, strength, all these different things that nobody else had. And I think had it not been for those videos, there would never be Power Slap because you know, they don't just look and they say, "Oh, the guy's strong" or whatever.
Yeah.
You saw me, but in America, for instance, nobody would have known about me because strong guys like that in America, there's a dime a dozen. Everybody's strong, this and that. So, you know, I come here and I see that, you know, I look around, people are beautiful, people are interesting, people do all these wonderful, interesting stuff. They get noticed, right? For instance, yesterday I was walking around the Fremont Street and I saw like an older guy come out and start dancing like he was like a, you know, professional, like doing all sorts of spins and all sorts of like moonwalks and this and that. And I'm like, wow, this is an interesting person. So what I knew that I needed to do is I needed to become an interesting person as well, shoot this content to get noticed, because without it, I don't think there would have been Power Slap for me.
I love that answer because I've brought up many times in interviews that you need to have a presence and you need to stand out because the sport itself is so very, no pun intended, just like 1, 2, strike. You need something else to the table. So I think that's very smart of you to go out, be unique, and then go into the sport rather than the sport you get into first and hope you be.
И то, что ты из этого спорта хочешь стать известным, а ты уже с известностью пришел в спорт.
Как говорил там Шекспир, да, все роли заняты, играйте свою роль.
As Shakespeare, I believe, said, all roles have been taken already. You must play yourself.
And that couldn't be more true in the social media era.
Can you drop this mic? Because I think that was a mic drop.
I think, yes, 100%. Unexpected response. That was beautiful.
Вообще не ожидал, что ты так ответишь. Это прекрасно.
Но я смотрю интернет, поэтому знаю дорзол.
I follow the internet. The internet tells me.
Yeah, now I just follow chat. So,
Chat GPT.
yeah, no, that's real, man, especially because truly in the social media era, that's just who it's just here now. It's not going anywhere. Everybody thinks they can just, not to be funny or whatever, but every girl thinks they can just show their feet or their ass and they'll get a bunch of money and be famous. And you need to have creativity to not do the same thing that others do just to get views. You've got to have creativity to get the views and stickiness. So people will be gravitated towards you and help you build it.
Да, надо быть, вот, надо быть, я думаю, самим собой, да, и непредсказуемым, что-то все равно креативить. Ты вот чувствуешь, тебе это нравится, какой-то вот снимать контент, и не бояться. У меня были такие ситуации, когда я только начинал снимать в 2008 году, когда мне было 16 лет. Я снял видео, где я поднимаю гирю 16 килограмм на 145 раз. И после этого мы залили на YouTube и закинули под музыку «Рамштайн». Но за 2 дня видео набрало 50 тысяч просмотров, и YouTube заблокировал видео, но спустя 10 лет, а это загружал мой друг видео. И через 10 лет мой друг говорит: видео разблокировали, и мне видео скидывает это. Я такой думаю: блин, классно. Это реально, в первую очередь, не то, что вот там людям понравится, то сё, да, это же в первую очередь как память. Раньше мы там что собирали? Фотографии, там, кассеты там снимали, да, вот. Это же в первую очередь для себя. Ты потом в будущем покажешь своим детям, своему поколению. Это самое главное. А остальное это, как сказать, люди сегодня о тебе говорят, завтра могут не говорить. Надо быть готовым ко всему. Я думаю, что популярность, она такая. Не всегда ты можешь быть на каком-то хайпе и так далее. Я думаю, таких людей нету, которые вот всю жизнь на хайпе. Так что я, например, к этому отношусь так. Если обо мне говорят, супер. Если не говорят, супер.
The thing about this is you have to stay yourself, but you also have to stay individual, but you also have to be unpredictable.
Yes.
Right. So when I first, for instance, started to create content, when I first started shooting videos, it was 2008. It was me and my buddy. My buddy filmed it, and it was basically a video of me wrapping a 16 kilogram, what's it called? Kettlebell.
Okay. Yeah.
Kettlebell. I think 140 times.
145.
145. So 145 times 16 kilogram kettlebell. And we just shot me doing it. And then we would put Rammstein soundtrack under it.
Rammstein.
And we uploaded it to YouTube.
Yeah.
And in like 2 days, it got to like 50,000 views. It was like crazy. And then for whatever reason, YouTube blocked the video. And so, time passed, we forgot about this and that. But then 10 years after, so like in 2018, my buddy calls me. He's like, yo, the video's back up. And so the first thing that I did was I watched it because it's been 10 years. I wanted to myself remember what that was like. So that gives you memories, right? That gives you something that you can show to your kids at some point, something that, because this popularity thing, it's fickle. Like today you're popular, tomorrow you're not. This hype thing, it stays with you for a certain period of time, but eventually it goes away. So I don't know any people that are forever, their entire life, they're on hype. They're always popular. They're always interested. They're always in the news. They're always talked about. There's probably people like that don't exist, So it's important to create those memories that you can then go back to. And so like at one point, when I was at the peak of my, popularity, this was the video that was fun. People used to see.
Yeah. In a weird way, that's kind of why I started the podcast. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to be super honest with you. My whole life, I've always felt like I wanted to not go to the grave forgotten. And in my own weird way, this is me doing that. So when I'm no longer around, my grandkids or my kids, they can see they can see a piece of me. They can see my personality. They can do these things. And so I agree. Popularity is fickle, whatever, but to create a memory is amazing.
сделать ту память, которая потом может быть
Согласен.
это важно.
Согласен.
Yeah.
Agree.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, Zakir, man, we're excited for the weekend. Wes is coming with some intensity. I know you're doing the same, and I can't wait to see what happens Friday night. And we wish you all the best, man.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. Good to meet you. All right.